My girlfriend texted, "I'm using our vacation fund to bail my ex out of jail. You understand?" I replied, "Family first." Then I drained my half of the account and booked a one-way ticket to Japan. Her panicked voicemail when she realized she only had enough to pay the bail bondsman's fee. I, 32 male, work as a data analyst. My life is about spreadsheets, predictable outcomes, and risk mitigation. My girlfriend, Mara, 29, was not. She was impulsive, passionate, and, I thought, balanced my quiet life. We'd been together 3 years, living in my condo, I own it, for the last 2. We were saving up. We had this joint savings account. We called it the vacation fund. The plan was to hit $15,000 and then decide on a major trip. I was methodical, auto-depositing $400 every month. She contributed when she could. After about a year and a half, we had $14,200 in there. My contribution history showed I'd put in $7,200. Hers was $7,000. Close enough. The backdrop to our entire relationship was Reese, 30. Her ex, the one that got away, except he never went anywhere. He was always in some jam, and she was always defending him. He's just misunderstood, Leo. He has a good heart. He's just unlucky. He's like family. You don't turn your back on family. I hated it. I told her as much. She'd get defensive, accuse me of being controlling, and I'd back down, because I loved her and I'm not a fighter. I'm a planner. Yesterday, Tuesday at 11:04 a.m., my phone buzzed. I was deep in a query, optimizing a database. I glanced at the screen. It was Mara. "Mara, hey, absolute emergency. Reese got into some trouble. He's in jail. Bail is set. I'm using our vacation fund to bail him out. It's an emergency, you understand." I read it once, then twice, then a third time. It wasn't a question. It was a statement, a declaration. I'm using our money, not our money. Our money. My $7,200, her $7,000, all of it, for him. You understand? A cold, quiet click sounded in my head. It was the sound of a switch being thrown. All the times I'd backed down, all the misunderstandings, all the ignored red flags, they didn't just line up, they formed a perfectly straight, undeniable line. She was telling me, not asking, that my savings, my half of 2 years of diligent planning, was being sacrificed for the human train wreck she refused to unhitch herself from. I stared at the blinking cursor on my monitor. I looked back at her text. I typed back 2 words, "Me, family first." She replied almost instantly, "Mara, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're the best. I knew you'd get it. He's like a brother to me. You're a lifesaver. I'll make it up to you, I promise." I didn't reply to that. Instead, I minimized my work. I opened a new browser tab and logged into our joint savings account. Balance, $14,200. I clicked transfer. I transferred exactly $7,200 from the joint savings to my personal checking account. I left her $7,000 in there, her half. Then I opened another tab, an airline website. I'd always wanted to go to Japan. Mara thought it was too far and the food is weird. I found a one-way flight, premium economy, leaving this Friday. I had over 4 weeks of PTO saved up. I entered my credit card details and clicked purchase. I composed an email to my boss. "Hi Mark, a sudden and pressing family emergency has come up. I need to take my accrued PTO, 4.5 weeks, starting this Friday. Date. I will have my work laptop and can be available for critical issues remotely, but I will be in a different time zone. I'll get all my current projects to a stable handoff point by EOD Thursday. Apologies for the short notice." I sent it. My boss replied in minutes. "No problem, Leo. Hope everything is okay. Keep us posted." I put my phone on silent. I went back to my spreadsheet. I felt nothing. No anger. No sadness. Just quiet. The quiet of a decision made. Around 3:30 p.m., my phone, silent, started vibrating so hard on the desk it sounded like a trapped wasp. It vibrated, stopped, vibrated, stopped. Over and over. I ignored it. At 4 p.m., a voicemail notification popped up. I put in my headphones, clicked play. It wasn't Mara's normal voice. It was a screech. Leo, what did you do?" "I'm at the bail bondsman. I'm here. I told them I had the money. They said the bail is $100,000. The fee, the bondsman's fee, is 10%. It's $10,000. I told them fine, I have the vacation fund." A shaky, high-pitched breath. I went to the ATM to pull the cash and the card. The card. "Leo, there's only $7,000 in the account. Where is the rest of it? What did you do?" "I'm $3,000 short. They won't take it. Reese is, he's stuck in there. His mother is crying. What is wrong with you? You said you understood. You said family first. Call me back now. You did this on purpose. The call ended. I listened to it again. You said family first. I did. And I am. I'm my own family now. I went back to my query. My flight leaves in 3 days. I have a lot to pack. Update 1. Hey Reddit. Wow. Thanks for all the messages. This blew up way more than I expected. I'm not sure I can reply to everyone, but I read them. A lot of you called it the entitlement. I had no idea. I'm in Japan. I'm writing this from a small hotel room. The last 72 hours before I left were hectic. So after Mara's voicemail, the calls didn't stop. I think she called 25 times in a row, then switched to texting. A wall of green bubbles. You stole from me. This is theft, Leo. I'm calling the cops. Rissa's mom had to pawn her wedding ring to cover the last $3,000. Her ring. Are you happy? I'm coming over. We are talking about this. You better be there. I knew she would. Mara doesn't do no, she just does louder. I live in a condo, and the last thing I wanted was a scene in the hallway. I left work, went straight to my unit. First call, a locksmith. Hi, I need an emergency rekey. My ex-partner has a key and I'm concerned about my property. No problem, sir. Be there in 45 minutes. It'll be $220 for the rush job. Perfect. The locksmith was done by 6 p.m. By 6:15 p.m., Mara was there. I heard the key scrape in the lock, then scrape, scrape, scrape. Then pounding, boom, boom, boom. Leo, I know you're in there. Open this damn door. You're a thief. You're a coward. I sat on my sofa, packing a suitcase. I just didn't answer. This went on for 10 minutes. Then it got quiet. My phone rang. Her sister Talia. I ignored it. Her mom Corinne. Ignored it. Then, about 30 minutes later, another knock. This one was different. Firm. Official. I looked through the peephole. 2 police officers. Crap. She actually did it. I opened the door. Officers, can I help you? Mara was standing behind them, arms crossed, face blotchy with tears and rage. He locked me out, and he stole $7,200 from me. The older officer sighed. It was the I hate these calls sigh. Sir, we received a call about a domestic disturbance and a potential theft. Hello, officers, I said calmly. There's no disturbance. This is my ex-girlfriend, Mara. She's upset. This is my condo. I'm the sole owner. I held up my driver's license with the address. She was living here as my guest. She has a key, which I just had rekeyed, as is my right. He stole my money, she shrieked. Sir, what about the theft? Ah, yes. I picked up a file from my coffee table. I'd printed everything. Mara is referring to a joint savings account. Here's the most recent statement. I handed it to him. You'll see a balance of $4,200 as of this morning. And here, I handed him another paper, is the transfer history. You can see my monthly deposits of $400 totaling $7,200, and her deposits totaling $7,000. And here, a third paper, is the transfer I made today for $7,200. My exact contribution. I left her $7,000 in the account, which as you can see is still there. The cop looked at the papers. He looked at Mara. And why did you do this, sir? Because, officer, I handed him my phone. She sent me this text today, informing me she was taking the entire $14,200 to bail her ex-boyfriend Reese out of jail. I did not authorize the use of my half of the savings, so I removed my half. The cop read the text. He looked at Mara again. His expression was gone. Just flat. Ma'am, this is a civil matter. He didn't steal anything. He took his own money. What's in that account is between you and the bank. And this is his condo. He doesn't have to let you in. But my stuff, she sputtered. My clothes, my laptop. I've already packed most of it, I said, pointing to 3 large boxes and 2 suitcases by the door. She can take it. I'd prefer if you'd stay while she does, just to keep the peace. A civil standby? Fine, the officer said. He nodded to Mara. Go ahead, ma'am, get your things, just the essentials. We can't stay all night. Mara stormed past me. She wasn't crying anymore. She was just vibrating with hate. You're a sociopath, you know that? She hissed, grabbing her makeup bag. A cold, calculating spreadsheet, that's what you are. I'm a spreadsheet who doesn't pay for his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend's legal fees. Yes. Rissa's mom had to pawn her ring. Sounds like a Reese mom problem, I said, leaning against the doorframe. She went for her boxes, but then she saw a painting on the wall. It's a nice landscape, painted by her grandmother Maud. Maud and I got along great. She gave it to me 2 years ago for my birthday because I spent a weekend fixing her ancient computer and setting up her Wi-Fi. Mara always hated that it was mine. Mara lunged for it. I'm taking this. It's my grandmother's. I put my hand up. No, you're not. It's my family's. The younger cop stepped forward. Ma'am, is this your property? Or his? My grandma painted it. It belongs to me. I pulled my phone out of my pocket, went to my favorites album, pulled up a photo. It was me and Maud smiling holding the painting and the birthday card that came with it. I zoomed in on the text. To Leo, my favorite computer whiz, I'm so glad you love the painting. It's all yours. Happy 30th. Love, Maud. I showed it to the cop. He nodded. Ma'am, you need to leave the painting. Get your boxes and let's go. Her face, I've never seen that color. It was purple. She grabbed her boxes, dragging them out, scraping the floor. You'll regret this, Leo. You'll be old and alone with your stupid money and your stupid painting. I gave you 3 years. And I'm taking my $7,200 back, I said. Have a good night. I closed the door, locked it. The cop stayed until she was in her car. The next day, her mom, Corinne, called. I was stupid and picked it up. Leo, darling, she said, her voice dripping with fake honey. I think there's been a terrible misunderstanding. Mara is just, she's so distraught. She has such a big heart, you know. That money was just for an emergency. Reese is a good boy, he gets turned around. Corinne, he got arrested. A bar fight, boys will be boys. Now, Mara is $3,000 short on the bondsman, and her account is overdrawn from, well, you know. I think the right thing to do, the Christian thing to do, would be for you to send her that money you took. Be the bigger man, Leo. Don't be so petty. The Christian thing? How about the logical thing? The logical thing is for me to not light my savings on fire for a man who, by the way, Corinne, it wasn't a bar fight. I looked it up. Public records. He was arrested for check fraud. He was stealing checks from his part-time job. Silence. Well, I'm sure that's a misunderstanding, too, she said, flustered. The point is, Mara needs you. You can't just abandon her. Watch me, I said, and hung up. I spent the next 48 hours getting my life in order, put a hold on my mail, paid my condo fees 3 months in advance, and I hired my friend Ben, who has a key, to water my plants and grab any mail that slips through. I got one last text from Mara's sister, Talia. It was a screenshot of a small claims court filing form. You're being sued, you jerk. For the $7,200 you stole, plus $2,000 for the painting you're holding hostage, and $1,000 for emotional distress. You're not getting away with this. I just replied, see you in court. Then I blocked her. And Mara. And Corinne. I got on my flight. The takeoff was the best feeling I've had in 3 years. I'm here for at least a month, maybe longer. Let them serve papers to an empty condo. I'll deal with it when I'm back. Right now I'm gonna find the best bowl of ramen in this city. Final update. Hey Reddit, it's been about 3.5 months. This is the last update. I came back from Japan 2 weeks ago. My trip was clarifying. I stayed for 9 weeks, worked remotely part-time, explored. I learned to be alone again, and I learned I really like it. When I got back, there was a stack of mail waiting for me. Thanks, Ben. In that stack was, as promised, a summons for small claims court. Mara, Corinne, and Talia were all listed as plaintiffs. They were suing me for $10,200. The $7,200 they claimed I stole, $2,000 for the value of the painting, and $1,200 for, I don't know, her moving costs and distress. The hearing was last Thursday. I showed up in my work suit. I'm a data analyst. I came prepared. I had a binder. Mara was there, with Corinne and Talia flanking her like disgruntled bodyguards. Reese, notably, was not. The judge, a tired-looking woman who clearly had a packed docket, called our case. Case 304B, Mara's last name versus my last name. Ma'am, please state your claim. Mara stood up, papers shaking. Your Honor, my ex-fiancé. I literally choked. We were not engaged. Maliciously and without warning, stole $7,200 from our joint savings account, leaving me stranded and unable to pay an emergency bill. He did this out of spite. He also stole a priceless family heirloom, a painting from my grandmother that's worth at least $2,000. And he abandoned me. I had to pay for movers and a deposit on a new apartment. It's caused me severe emotional distress. The judge looked at me. Mr. My last name, your response? I stood up. Your Honor, I opened my binder. First, we were not engaged. Here is a copy of my condo's deed, in my name only, purchased before our relationship. Here is the lease for her new apartment, which she signed with her ex-boyfriend, Reese, 2 days before she texted me. It appears the emergency was just moving in money. Mara went pale. Corinne hissed. That's not order, the judge said. Continue, Mr. My last name. Second, regarding the $7,200. I passed a folder to the bailiff. Here is the full certified statement from the joint savings account, showing every deposit by both parties for 18 months. As you can see, my total contribution was $7,200. Her total was $7,000. I withdrew my contribution, leaving hers. Here's the text message she sent me, stating her intent to use the entire fund, including my money, to pay the bail bondsman for Mr. Doe Riss. I did not authorize this. The judge read the text. Her eyebrows went up. Third, regarding the painting, I passed over another folder. Here's a notarized affidavit from her grandmother, Maud, who is 84 and lovely, stating the painting was a personal gift to me for my 30th birthday. Here is the original birthday card, which she was happy to provide. And here is a photo of me and Maud with the painting at my party. It is not a family heirloom, it is my property. And finally, I said, here is a copy of the public court docket for Mr. Reese, last name, the man she was bailing out. He was not arrested for a bar fight, as I was told, but for check fraud. He pled guilty last month and was sentenced to 18 months. I sat down. The courtroom was dead silent. The judge looked at the paperwork. She looked at Mara. Ma'am, the judge said, let me get this straight. You tried to take your boyfriend's savings to bail out your other boyfriend who was on his way to prison for fraud. When your boyfriend smartly took his own money, you sued him? And you tried to claim a painting your own grandmother gave him? He tricked me, Mara said, her voice cracking. He was manipulative. He said family first. And it seems Mr. Riss is the family you chose, the judge said flatly. This is the most frivolous and frankly insulting case I've seen this month. You're lucky he isn't countersuing you for harassment. Case dismissed, with prejudice. Ma'am, I suggest you take a hard look at your life choices. Don't waste this court's time again. Mara just stood there, mouth open. Corinne started sputtering. But Your Honor, the distress. Get out of my courtroom, the judge said. I packed my binder. As I was leaving, Talia got in my face in the hallway. You think you're so smart with your folders. You ruined her life. No, I said, adjusting my tie. She had a life. She had my savings. She had her grandma's painting. She was willing to trade all of it for Riss. The trade just went through. Excuse me. I walked away. I didn't look back. The last I heard from Ben, who heard it from a mutual friend, the situation is bleak. Mara and Riss's mom, the one with the pawned ring, are now in a massive feud over who Riss really loves, and more importantly, who he owes money to. Mara lost her job, not because of me, but because she was apparently a whirlwind of unprofessional chaos for a month straight and missed 3 major client deadlines. She's living in that apartment with her name on the lease, and Riss, well, he's not paying rent. I got home, took Maud's painting, and hung it in my bedroom, where I can see it every morning. I'm back at work. My boss is glad I'm back. My spreadsheets are clean. My accounts are my own. I'm planning a trip to Southeast Asia for next spring. This time, I'm buying a round-trip ticket. It's over. I feel light. I don't feel happy, not yet, but I don't feel angry. I just feel free. And $7,200 richer than I would have been.